Maramma's story begins in 1940 on the humid coast of Durban, South Africa. She was born at St. Aidan's Hospital into the warm but humble arms of her parents, Aman and Chinema. Theirs was not a life of wealth or luxury, but one filled with discipline, duty, and deep love. From her first days, life seemed to whisper lessons of resilience. Her father, Aman, worked long, grueling hours in the sugarcane fields of Kersney, often gone for a month at a time, returning not with riches, but with mealie rice, putu, and the rations he earned. Her mother, Chinema, held the household together, raising the children with gentle strength and quiet determination. As a little girl, Maramma's mornings began before the sun, sometimes at 4 a.m. or sometimes even earlier. She and her sister Velima walked barefoot along dusty paths to fetch water from a faraway well. They lined up in the dark, carrying heavy containers home, their small shoulders already bearing the burdens of life. Yet, when the water was safely brought back, they did not rest. Instead, they washed quickly, changed, and sat down for steaming bowls of porridge before hurrying to Lakshmi's school. Education was precious. Maramma studied only until Standard 3 or Grade 5 before she left school to help on the farm. But even without higher schooling, life itself became her teacher. Her father's 1-acre pineapple plantation demanded hard labor from all the children. Together with her siblings, she carried heavy bundles of pineapples, beans, and vegetables. Their bare feet pressed into the damp earth. Their arms ached, but still they worked until the cart was full for Aman to take to the market. Even after these long days, when their bodies begged for rest, Maramma and her siblings gathered around the warm glow of paraffin lamps. There, they completed their homework, squinting through tired eyes, proving that determination could shine brighter than exhaustion. And in between all the work, they still found time for joy. Maramma laughed and played with her younger siblings, running barefoot in the dirt, playing 3 tins, hopscotch, and 5 stones. Their games were simple, but the joy was boundless. By 1959, Maramma was a young woman of 19. She carried with her the strength of her childhood, but also a heart open to love. It was Christmas Day when destiny arrived in the form of Tangavel, known affectionately as Sunny. He had come to visit relatives at the house on the hill. His family told him of the girls at Zugwa's house at the bottom of the slope. Out of curiosity, Sunny went down with a few family members. That was when Maramma appeared, carrying a tray of tea and biscuits. Her dress swayed gently as she entered the room. She handed the tray to Sunny, and in that instant, as his fingers brushed hers, something stirred. A spark of recognition. A promise, unspoken but real. Just 3 months later, after a lavish engagement, the wedding took place at Park Reni. It was a grand affair filled with music, laughter, and an entire busload of guests. the bride radiant in her sari, the groom proud and steady. Their union was not just a marriage, it was the beginning of a legacy. The early years of marriage were filled with both joy and sacrifice. In 1960, they welcomed their first child, Vasanta Joycey. She carried a calm, gentle presence. 3 years later, in 1963, their son Danpal Ricky arrived with energy in his bones and mischief in his eyes. Sunny worked as a builder, cycling miles each day to job sites. He earned 14 rands a week, a significant sum then, but one that had to stretch far. For Sunny was not only supporting his wife and children, he also carried the responsibility of his siblings. His bicycle became a symbol of his devotion, each turn of the wheel echoing his determination to provide. There were lighter days too, trips to the beach, birthday parties filled with laughter, and shared meals that made even the humblest food taste like a feast. By 1975, when the family moved to Effingham, Maramma discovered her calling, sewing. She bought an Elna sewing machine for 500 rands, a huge investment at the time, and enrolled in a 3-month embroidery course. Soon she was embroidering 5 saris a week, delicate designs stitched with patience and love. Every thread became a testament to her perseverance, her ability to create beauty even in the busiest, most demanding life. But her days were never just about sewing. She cooked, cleaned, cared for her children, and made time for family. She cherished the small joys too, like eating pilchard sandwiches with Velema, spiced with mint chilies and tomato. Simple food, but seasoned with love and sisterhood. Among all her responsibilities, Maramma found a special kind of peace in baking. Her favorite treat to make was her soft, buttery scones, simple, warm, and filled with love. She never measured a thing. Everything was done by feeling, with hands that somehow always knew exactly what to do. Whenever relatives or neighbors visited, they were greeted by the comforting smell of freshly baked scones. No one ever left her home without tasting one. Her scones became so cherished that when Raju's family moved to Australia, they carried her recipe across the ocean. A little piece of her warmth, shared from Durban to Australia, soft, sweet, and unforgettable. Motherhood tested her resilience in ways she could not have imagined. Her son Ricky, curious and full of energy, often found himself in danger. He slid from his feeding chair, suffered third-degree burns when boiling water spilled on him, and once he even had a close encounter with a 3-meter snake while playing outside. Through every crisis, Maramma's courage never faltered. She sat by Ricky's hospital bed day and night, praying, waiting, holding his hand until he healed. Though her heart ached, she never allowed fear to consume her. Sorrow also came when her beloved brother George passed away. He had lived with her, and they shared a bond few could understand. The grief was heavy, but even then, Maramma found the strength to carry her family forward. Throughout her life, Maramma's home became a sanctuary for others. When her brother Raju had an accident and broke his leg, he stayed with her family for a month. When her sister Bomi became ill, Maramma and Sunny took her in. Her nieces and nephews often stayed under her roof while completing school, treated with the same care as her own children. Later, her grandchildren, Vivian, Sashan, Mish, and Alea, filled her home with joy, especially during school holidays, when she and Sunny would take them to the Japanese gardens, their laughter echoing through the air. Her home was never just four walls. It was a place of refuge, of warmth, of community woven through love. Now, at the age of 85, Maramma looks back on her journey with gratitude. She remembers her father Aman, bent with labor in the sugarcane fields, but proud that his children never went hungry. She remembers her mother Chinnamma, steady as a rock, teaching resilience not through words but through example. She remembers the taste of black tea, the milk from their cows, the horse and cart that carried them across dusty paths, the goats and chickens that made their farm alive. She remembers that meat was a rarity, but dried fish, shared sparingly, was a treasure. And she remembered her father's way of discipline. He only scolded the girls, but when the boys misbehaved, he lined them up in a straight row and gave them a good whack with his stick. She would chuckle even now, saying, "The girls got words, the boys got wood." Most of all, she remembers the laughter of her siblings as they carried bundles of vegetables on their heads, working side by side, never giving up. Her story is more than her own. It is a story of a generation, a people who built a life from little, who endured hardship with dignity, who never forgot the value of community. Her life whispers to us even now that perseverance is stronger than pain, that love can be found in the simplest gestures, that true wealth is not in possessions but in family and community, and that hope, like the flame of a paraffin lamp, can light the darkest nights. I hope you enjoyed this story about my aunt and Aman's daughter, who currently lives in Durban, South Africa. Until next time, please like, share, and subscribe.